This is the Big Lap Chats podcast, where our mission is to help caravanners and campers plan their ultimate lap of Australia. Whether you're dreaming of hitting the road or already travelling, we provide all the information and tools you'll need to bring your dream to life. Tune in as our expert host, Annette Jones, chats with Australia's big lappers, caravanners and campers, sharing hints and tips for creating the best memories while travelling around Australia. Be sure to check out Annette's website, All Around Oz, Australia's leading site for planning a lap of Australia. But now, settle in and hit play while you're on the road and listen as Annette delivers today's episode.
Welcome back to the Big Lap Chats podcast, and today I had some fantastic guests with me. It is Chris and Bec from Salt and Charcoal. Welcome.
Thank
Hello.
you. Thank you for having us.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's great to have you here because I know how experienced you are travelling and certainly travelling around Australia. Where are you calling in from today? Are you...
We're currently in Perth at the moment.
Perth,
We would
wow.
love to be in the bus, but the bus is at the Fremantle port. It's coming back to Perth. We shipped it back from Brizzy to Perth, but it was just a delay. That's a story in itself. But get the bus back maybe this week.
Pray for us.
Ooh, yay.
Journey.
Yeah.
We've been watching the coast and seeing shipping containers going by, being like, is that our boss? It's been back and forth. Oh, it's been full on.
Yeah.
Oh. Did you download that? I think there's an app that you can get, tells you where your boat is or something.
Actually,
Yeah. I was tracking it the whole time. We had an issue because it came all the way to Perth and the ports were on strike. So it came all the way to Perth, couldn't dock and went all the way back to Melbourne.
No.
yeah.
And then
Poor boss. I
Yeah.
feel for it.
and then was just hanging out there until the port stopped striking, which was about a week ago, and then came back. So it's been 3 months. 3 months at sea.
Been on a
Gosh.
Yeah.
How long was it supposed to take?
14 days, 14 to 25 days. Yeah.
How long has it been? 2 months.
3 months.
3 months.
3 months and 1 week.
Being
Not that I'm
bashed with
counting.
salt spray.
No.
No, it's all covered in. It's all covered
Is
in,
it?
yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Not in a container, but it's a
Oh,
car
that's a bit of a
carrier.
relief. I thought it was just sitting there like shivering in the cold, being like smashed with salt spray and pirates and stuff.
Oh.
Oh, thank God. With no one defending it, just sitting there on its lonesome.
So then how come you decided to send it back? I know why, but I'll
Yeah.
cut these bits.
Been traveling around Aussie, it's inevitable that you have mechanical problems. And we did have some issues with our turbo that were originally caused by natural maintenance issues. But unfortunately, we had a mechanic who didn't quite fix the original turbo issue. So it blew up again. And yeah, so we had some issues
Yep.
going on there. And then we also had campaigns overseas and we were going to Africa. So we made the decision, which was good at the time because it was only going to take 25 days, to just ship her back from Brizzy to Perth instead of driving it. And if all things went to plan, it would have been perfect. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, it didn't. It is what it is. Yeah.
You were hoping it would get there while you were off over in Africa and you get back and it would pretty much be home.
Exactly. That was the master plan.
Yeah.
And we looked at costs as well, and it was going to cost similar to drive or ship it. It was just going to be very convenient to just arrive home when we got there and we didn't have to do the drive ourselves, which we would have liked to do the drive because it's a great drive, but we have a few times. And
Yes.
the bus honestly needs TLC. It needs maintenance. It needs love. It needs to be in one spot. It's done a lot of journeys and it's time to give it some love.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. 4 years on 3 years in the bus straight and without any good maintenance period. And the bus is old for probably listeners who don't know about a bus. It's a 1993 Toyota Coaster converted full drive. So it's got a full drive. So it's Frankenstein with some very old gear in it. You got to update it and give it some love every now and again.
there's
Yeah.
positives and negatives to that because no mechanics want to work on our bus. Like, we ring up a truck mechanic and they're like, oh, you're a bit small for me. And then we ring up a car mechanic and they're like, oh, you're too big for me. And we're like, who's going to help us with the bus? Like,
Yeah, that's a good point. And I guess a lot of mechanics are too young to work on it as well, are they?
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, well,
Don't
a
have
lot of
the
us just want to do the
Racing engines.
Yeah, racing.
Yeah.
If they're really good mechanics, what I
Mhm.
found is normally they build up like performance diesel mechanics and they'll just work on obviously the stuff that makes them a lot of good money, which is upgrading
Luxury.
turbos and stuff on newer cars. And they don't really want to work on an older vehicle that takes a bit of time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is what it is, but yeah,
Trials and tribulations of travel.
it is.
That's
But
exactly.
in the lead up, that being said, like we had 3 years of nothing happening to the bus. Like I'm talking no real major mechanical issues. We didn't even have a flat tire and we're
Wow.
full driving the bus and everything like
Nothing.
that. So
For
it,
3 years straight.
it was due. It was due.
Yeah. It was nothing.
You're going to have the good with the bad, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Yes, that's in real life. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. For those listeners that don't know your story, how did all this kick off for you? And maybe you can start with how long you've been together, and then how did you hit the road? What triggered you hitting the road?
Oh.
So originally we're both from Perth. I grew up in New Zealand, but we're both from Perth. And we basically, I was FIFO, Bec was a social worker. And we did that for about 4 years after we met.
But spending all of our spare money on travel,
Yeah.
like constantly flying places or going camping all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that we started big campers at the start. It was
No.
more,
We thought we were so cool.
yeah.
But what did we have?
Our first camping setup, it was a
It was a
Holden
Holden Viva
Viva. you know,
sleeping in the
like
back seat.
an old station wagon Viva.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Pretty sure the suspension was shot, but we used to sleep in the back and just go little adventures in Southwest WA.
But then
Cool.
we,
It's great,
we
actually.
upgraded to a Subi Forester and we thought it was this huge car. Well, it's a four-wheel drive. And then we
Put a King's rooftop
King's
tent
rooftop
on
tent, which we thought was really
it,
cool.
which
as well.
was luxury until you get the slightest bit of wind and then
Oh.
it sounded like you're in a hurricane and 5 kilometers of wind outside
Right.
because there's so much like fabric in that thing.
But we started camping a lot every single weekend. It was let's go camping. And we started plotting our world trip. We were going to quit our jobs, save a lot of money and travel the whole world. And then 2020 was our leaving date. We all know what happened in that time.
Mhm.
Chris had the bright idea saying, we love camping. Why don't we get a bit of a better four-wheel drive and travel around Australia? So that was the new plan, which we actually both were really thrilled about. It's perfect.
We had it all booked in. We're going to Bali first, and then we're going to spend 3 months in Bali and go. COVID hit, and then within 1 month of that happening, we'd had bought a Nissan Patrol with a new vehicle, sold everything in the house, sold all furniture, everything, and had left.
And packed it all into the car, like
Wow.
just absolutely busting with our stuff.
Yeah.
It was wonderful timing because I was so ready to quit my job. I was so burnt out from working corporate. I was sick all the time. Even leaving on our lap, I was still getting sick on and off. So it was like divine timing that we were just off in paradise traveling instead.
Nice.
Yeah. And then,
Nice.
we traveled with the Nissan Patrol and the rooftop tent for 9 months, all around the tops. We went north first. Northwest WA and Northern Territory didn't believe in COVID. So we could go wherever we want, see all the sights, and there was no one there. We did the Gibb River Road and we saw 2 or 3
It's
people
unbelievable.
the whole time.
Wow.
We went it. No one was there.
We're so lucky for
We're
that.
very-
Magical.
Yeah.
Magical time.
And
It
do you know what? We had people back home being like, guys, what is going on? We are over here just locked down and you're just like camping out there having an absolute blast. And they were like, yeah, but good luck getting over the patrols. Good luck getting over the COVID, like where they
Points
the
checkpoint.
checkpoint.
Yeah.
So we were
Yeah.
like so nervous going to our first checkpoint. I think it was to get into the NT. And when we got there, do you remember? We're like, have we done all the paperwork? Are we going to get put in jail or something? We got to the border and there was just a couple like relaxed cops that are just chilling there. And they're like, hey. And we're like, hey. And they're like, you got your paperwork? There you go. And they're like, all right, see ya. And we're like, is that it? Yeah, it's almost knockoff time. If you guys want a beer, there's a really good pub down the way. We will even see you there. We're leaving here soon. And we're just like,
Proceed to have a conversation about what the best pub meal
and the
was.
best beers. They didn't
Gosh.
care in the
Yeah.
slightest. So yeah, it was pretty good.
Just a little bit different around the country at that time.
Oh, definitely different. Look, there were some areas though that we missed in that particular time because they closed all the communities down.
Yes. Yeah.
And so we did miss a few things. There was a small part called Mitchell Falls
That was
that
all
we couldn't go
closed.
on the Giver Road. And then a lot of the Dampier Peninsula was closed. But generally it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And we came down around, hit Queensland. That's when the second wave of COVID hit. And so we beelined from Queensland as everything was starting to shut down again. We beelined from Queensland to Tasmania. Just went straight to the centre because we're like, we're going to get stuck. It's January. Let's just get stuck in Tassie.
Yeah.
Yes. And yeah, we all went all the way down to Tassie and spend
Yeah.
how long?
That was beautiful. Spent
3
probably
months.
2-3 months in Tassie.
Mm.
And then continued our lap back up around.
Well, that was it. No, that's where the crazy idea was born.
Oh, to buy the bus. Yeah.
Because this is how I guess our life changed very quickly. Was we're on the west coast of Tassie and we'd come into an IGA because we just need to pick up some stuff because we're going out to a remote camp. And we're talking about our dream setup. I don't know how we're talking about it. But we're talking about our dream setup. We're saying it'd be awesome. A bus that's full drive. That's perfect because we're craving a little bit something bigger at that point in time. No months.
Yeah.
So Beck goes into the IGA and I'm just like, I'm just going to look on Gumtree. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Types in like full drive Tour de Coaster bus. And this bus pops up, no word of a lie, exactly like our dream setup that we were talking about up in Noosa in the top of Queensland. So Beck comes back. I'm like, look at this thing. It's amazing. Blah, blah, blah. We drive down and then no word of a lie, 8 hours later, we'd put a deposit on this bus and booked a flight up to Noosa to go pick it up.
Wow.
So it all just changed like that.
Like that.
And
Guys,
then
if you want a vehicle, you got to be serious about it. You got to put down your deposit and you got to go for it. Because so many people are like, how did you get a 4-wheel drive bus? And the truth is we were just totally mad. We just flew, didn't even see the thing, gave them our money. Could have been a scam.
yeah.
Trusted in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's a great story.
It worked.
It worked. But yeah, she did have a lot of love needed and we rebuilt her and then continued around Aussie.
Yeah, we've been traveling full time around Australia for nearly 5 years.
Nearly 5, yeah.
This will be our fifth.
So when your bus is back up and running again, is your intention to hit the road again?
Yeah. The intention is definitely we're going to stay in WA for a little while and we'll use it for traveling around Aussie. We have a lot of overseas travel this year happening. So basically whenever we're back, we'll live in our bus. It's our home now. So we live in it.
Lived in there for a long time.
Yeah.
We are thinking after 4 years full-time living in the bus, it breaking down definitely changed our mindset a little bit because we'd had 3 perfect years of no dramas and our life was very comfortable. It was, if the weather got bad, we left. We went to the next amazing place. We saw incredible places all the time. Like recently we're at the Blue Mountains in New South Wales and we just had the best time living at the caravan park there. Absolutely loved it. But that is when it started breaking down. So the challenge of that lifestyle is suddenly we had to live out of hotels or try and find a friend's house to live out of. Because we couldn't exactly just fly home or go live with our dads and wait for mechanics with our bus. We had to be around.
Yep.
So we felt a sense of homelessness during that time.
And to be honest, the actual difficulty is that if your mechanic comes to you and say, it's going to be 3 months, that's perfect because then you can just go rent a property or maybe house sit or something like that.
Yeah.
The problem is what happens with the mechanics is they're like, yeah, it'll be ready next week. Yeah, it'll be ready next week. And it just goes on. And so you're
3 months.
Yeah. It went on for a long time.
So eventually, I don't know if it was universe intervention, but we just had to go home. That was the only opportunity. Put the bus on the ship, go home and reevaluate what our next plan is.
Yes.
So I think what we're going to do is get ourselves a base, still
Mhm.
have a bus, because we absolutely love road tripping and camping. Like, it's in our blood, it's in our soul. It has to happen. Like, we are already talking about doing an Exmouth trip or an Esperance trip or anything. But if at least we have a base that if things go wrong, we can go there and know that we are safe and sound.
Yep.
So that's our future proofing plan.
That sounds fantastic. And I know some listeners won't know that you actually work full time while you're traveling as well, don't you?
We do.
We do, yeah. We're very lucky to do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what is it that you actually do?
Basically, the short of it is we do digital marketing. Basically, we buy and sell websites, and we also help local businesses maybe build a website or help provide leads to them. So that's our core business. And then we also have Salt and Charcoal, the travel brand as well, which has become increasingly more successful over the past couple of years and also really fun. So we got an Instagram and we do a lot of itineraries on our website, and that kind of works quite well as well. Yeah.
We try to
Yeah.
create inspirational travel content. So trying to either provide helpful advice for people's travels or inspiring people to go on their next big adventure, whether it's van life or whether it's traveling somewhere in the world. That's our goals on social media, which we really do enjoy.
And you definitely do that. You definitely inspire people.
Oh, thank you. That's
Certainly from
huge goal.
a travel perspective. We just love live, eat and breathe travels. Definitely inspirational stuff. And I'll put all that information down in your show notes on the website so people can find you on the internet as saltandcharcoal.co, isn't it?
That's exactly right.
For your website, and Salt and Charcoal everywhere else on socials.
Exactly. Yep.
TikTok, YouTube,
Yep.
Facebook.
Instagram, Facebook. Yep.
Yeah. Instagram's our main one though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one will have the most up to date. We share a lot of stories of real time travel life and the highs and the lows. But we do like all the platforms, to be honest. We do want to do a bit more on YouTube.
Yep. And some spectacular scenery in your videos as well.
We're lucky.
Australia really is. There's nothing like it. And we say COVID to us, it sounds weird, was a blessing because it made us travel our own country. We didn't have that on our radar at all. And honestly, we just didn't know that it was so beautiful and there was so many different things to do.
Honestly, had we known, Australia would have been at the very top of our travel list. I think you just want to go experience something totally different. But as you start traveling Australia, especially by road, you see everything, like red cliffs, the bluest water you could ever imagine in the whole world, hot springs, different animals, different cultures, different people.
Waterfalls. It's got everything. It's a land of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
land.
Yeah. And the contrasts are quite amazing. And I don't think you realise how large our country is until you hit the road. I think I say that every episode. And it's not until you are on the road traveling you think, oh, boy, like we're at the Floro Peninsula at the moment, or the Floro Coast at the moment, and it is stunning.
I want to go there.
Stunning.
Yeah.
God, it'd be beautiful there right now. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. And for something like we've been following the Murray around for the last month or so, and today we saw where the Murray met the ocean. Excuse me. At not Port Vic. Yeah.
Yeah,
just
Victor
down from
Harbour?
Port, Victor Harbour.
Yeah.
Keep calling it Port Victoria.
We've been through there.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful part of the world. And the Murray is so special.
Oh, it isn't it? For a dirty looking river, there's something magical about it.
The people that live there are so connected to the Murray River because it's water source and it's very special.
That Riverland district, loved it there. Okay, what's one thing most lappers overlook that could make or break their entire journey?
I'm going to 100% say time frame. If you're never going to get around Aussie in 6 months. And if you do, you're going to miss out 90% of things. Yeah. So if you're doing a big lap, you need a minimum 1 year. and understand that even with a year, you're not going to see everything.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then on with that, with the timeline thing, as in, it's important to get generally the seasons, but don't stress if you miss the season slightly,
Yeah.
because it's actually impossible to get every single season perfect everywhere. So that's my probably biggest thing. What
And
about you?
I agree with you. I think you have to learn to be okay with some FOMO, fear of missing out. We
Mhm.
want to see everything, do everything, but like you can even just burn yourself out traveling. Like you're doing a waterfall walk every other day and you're hiking everywhere and you're trying to enjoy the moment all the time. But you have to pick your battles and go, this is really important to both of us. This one's a nice to have. Like stick with the ones that are really important to you both or to your group of people.
That's a good one.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. Can you share some money saving hacks? So the 3 biggest money saving hacks that
Ooh.
you find useful and that other people would find useful as well.
Absolutely.
So-
Free camping.
Yeah, free camping, number 1. Number 2, shower at public pools or go to public pools. They're great. They're normally like $2. Half the time they let us in for free.
Yeah. Gyms,
Yeah.
if you like, we've gotten a lot better after years. We're much better at working out now. But our first couple years of the lap, it was just hiking was working out. But now we
Mhm.
actually enjoy the gym. So we go to the gym and we use their showers.
Mm.
Not all the time, but a couple times
Yes.
a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been really good. You can get like a gym that's around the whole of Australia. There's the fitness passport if you are able to sign up for that. Or now I'm on Class Pass where you can actually get classes all over the place. But there's so many
Or you
different
do
ones.
anytime fitness seems the
fitness
biggest
is
one.
some of our friends do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
so yeah.
great.
The other one,
Maybe-
what's the other biggest one? Shop all in one go for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
We used to do one big shop and we'd have a few planned meals. And then it would mean we were going to commit to cooking our food because we'd have some plans. And then at the end of the week or two, whatever we'd bought for, we'd have like canned dinners, like
Already
really
put
on the
together.
dregs of the
Yeah.
food. Yeah. But
Yeah.
that's a lot of money because otherwise you're tempted to eat out all the time.
Yeah. Easy to do when you're out about seeing a place, isn't it?
You
Very
feel like you're
easy.
on holiday.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
we're not big drinkers, and I think that saves you a lot of money. If we're
Mhm.
doing alcohol, which is obviously it racks up the price, we'd be like, I think we'd buy like something once a week or once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, it depended. At the start, we drank a bit more. But
Yeah,
then,
on our first lap,
Yeah.
we were down for the drinks. Yeah.
but then it slowed down a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, COVID was going on too. I think that was probably the most
Yeah.
alcohol that was ever sold in Australia during that
Yeah.
year or two.
So
It's
true.
where all the craft beers were born, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Craft
Yes.
exploded then.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely.
I swear we have other money saving hacks, but the last few years we've been
I think-
living a bit bougie.
Yeah.
We've been living the good life, and we probably need to rein it in a little bit.
I think free camping on the West Coast is much, much easier than the East Coast. In my opinion, a lot nicer. A lot of the free camping spots come with like toilets, like drop toilets and stuff.
Mhm.
Depends if you got a toilet or not. But yeah, over East, it can be
Yeah, it's harder.
a little bit difficult to be
Sure.
close to the spot you want to be and free camp. Yeah.
We used to use wiki camps, and it had a really great selection of free camps, but I think everyone's noticed that they've tightened up their policies. There's not as many available.
Yeah.
So I don't even know how we would find free camps now. We'd probably hop on day use areas on.
No, we still find it via wiki camps, but they've changed all the free camp areas to day use areas.
Day use areas.
So yes, you're not supposed to
Ah.
be there, and on record, we don't camp there. But you read the reviews, you can they've reviews from the old thing, and you can see whether it's a good spot to free camp or not.
People
Great
use
tip.
code words in the
Yeah.
reviews,
Yeah.
like
Ah,
literally code words saying that they slept there and it was fine. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think
Good
it's just make sure you're respectful as well.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
when you go there, always make sure you bring your everything away. You know what I mean?
Never
And
leave a trace.
You're not loud. You're not annoying locals. All that sort of stuff.
Yes.
If you're
Yep.
respectful of them, most locals couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Where's your favourite free camp? Your top 3? Hey, it's Annette Jones from Big Lap Chats here. Just interrupting this episode to let you know, if you want to get the answer to this part of the question, then you'll need to join up to my membership where you can hear the extended version. The URL to go to do that is blccrew.allaroundoz.com.au. You can also find a link in the show notes over at allaroundoz.com.au/podcast. Otherwise, let's get back to our regular podcast. Yeah, cool.
But
Yeah, good. If you could only give one piece of advice for someone that's going to plan a lap of Australia, what would you tell them?
it does not need to be perfect. Just go with whatever you have now. Trust me, you don't need the fancy gear. You don't need the 300 series. You don't need the 30-foot caravan. Just go, work, and just work it out after that. If you want to upgrade on the road, you upgrade on the road. Don't wait till the perfect time. It never comes.
I think a lot of people are like, we're going to eventually go, we're going to save this, we're going to have this, we're going to book everything, we're going to plan all of our tours, et cetera, et cetera. Like Chris and I literally set one date in August. I think we said like 18th of August, 2020, we're leaving. And I promise you, I was in tears a couple nights before because I wasn't ready. And I was like, we haven't done this. We still got to do this. And then Chris was really persistent. He's like, we just have to leave on that date or we never will leave. And like in hindsight, that was very true. Like I guarantee you, we would have just kept putting it off and we never would have gone. And also we're quite people that are spontaneous with our travels. So we don't plan everything to the last minute. And we find like the few things we planned were annoying because you're like, you just got to enjoy yourself and be spontaneous. And if you're loving a place, stay a little bit longer. And if you're not loving a place, just keep moving. You got to be flexible.
Yeah,
and
that's
enjoy
actually
yourself.
great. There are some things you do need a book, like whale shark tours, horizontal falls, those big things.
Yes.
I don't know, try as wide as you can.
Yeah.
Have you done horizontal falls?
No, we didn't.
We did do the whale shark, but we one day hope to go do horizontal falls. Have you done it?
No, it's definitely on our list. We haven't been. We're heading to WA.
Yeah, I was just thinking that
this-
you're on your way.
Yeah, this year and next, because we realise that we will not get the whole seasons in. We're going to be down south when it's time to go do the Gibb River, and we're not going to bust our boiler getting up there this season, so that'll be next season.
Yeah, which is perfectly fine. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Like Chris has said a couple times, do not worry about the weather. Like you could be there in the best season and still get the worst weather. Like it's just, if you worry too much about it, like we've done it so many times, we've rushed somewhere and you just don't need to.
Like we did the Great Ocean Road in the middle of winter and it was awesome.
Great.
It was so good.
We had great weather.
Like,
Other people have done it and had the worst time in winter.
Yes.
So just hope for the best.
It is what it is, yeah.
Yeah, it is. We thought last year when we were in South Australia that we'd hang around down the southern end on the coast, but it just got too cold. So we thought, okay, up the middle we go.
Yeah.
Like chasing the sun. And it's, like you say, it's unpredictable. You can't control it. So you just go with the flow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What's the biggest myth about travelling Australia that needs to be busted?
That everything's going to kill you. Not true. It's absolute rubbish. Like everyone.
That's so true.
I don't think Aussies fall for that as much, but a lot of international travelers think that every snake's going to kill them, every spider's going to kill them, and almost like they're going to run at them and start attacking them. Like we know if you're in Australia, you're not going to come across those snakes on the regular and you're not going to come across those spiders on the regular.
Yeah.
Like we traveled, you know how long we've traveled for, 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
We've seen like nothing dangerous. We've never felt unsafe. We have felt safe, like literally almost 100% of the time, maybe 99% of the time.
We've probably seen maybe 9 snakes in that whole time. Most of them were pythons up north.
Like really mellow olive pythons that would never hit you.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get away. They're like, oh, there's a person.
Yes.
I'm looking, but very safe.
The only thing that you should be scared of and that we're scared of is crocs, though. You do got to respect those when you're up north. Yeah. But other than that, even sharks.
And the jellies.
Sharks and jellies. Yeah.
Jellies during jelly season.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do be careful. Take the precautions. Same with the crocs.
Yeah.
Be pretty safe. You're pretty safe going all the way around.
Yeah, just enjoy yourself. Go swimming in the south, like below where the crocs are. Swim,
Yeah.
enjoy yourself. Go snorkeling on the Great Barrier Reef. Like, you do not need to be scared. Like, it's just it's a non-issue.
Yeah.
And sharks are not really, I know you guys dive as well. We have done dive trips in our time too. Seeing a shark for the first time when you're that far under the water is a bit scary, but they are not interested in humans.
No.
Not in the slightest.
Not at all.
Not in the slightest. We've done spearfishing and they're interested in our fish. And these are little reef sharks. So if you're on a very closed reef, the chances of some big munching shark coming anywhere near you is sub-zero.
Yes.
You might see a reef shark. You might see a lemon shark, like literally if you're lucky. Speared a fish before and it's looking directly at the fish and it looks at you like, give me that. Looks delicious.
What are you doing down here?
But exactly, it knows what it's doing.
Eating my dinner.
Yeah. That looks great.
Yeah. Right. The time you don't see them at all because they've seen you long before you could even see them underwater, and they've given you a wide berth and gone round.
Yeah, they're not interested, let's be honest.
So, you got to, of course, so like any animal though, you got to respect them. And if you feel uncomfortable, then don't go in the water.
Yeah, if you're getting signs.
But most of the time, it's a non-issue.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest issue is overfishing, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Now, I know, and we've discussed that you work while you're on the road. So how do you stay connected and productive without sacrificing the adventure?
Great question.
It's very difficult.
Great question.
The way we're connected is Starlink. And that is an absolute game changer for people who are traveling Aussie and want to be connected more. Then it has to be Starlink. When we first started, we just used like mobile reception. But the main issue is when you get to these coastal towns, for example, like Exmouth, these small towns, because there's such an influx of tourism, the cell towers get overwhelmed. And so you can't even get internet. And so you can't really tether from your phone. So 100% Starlink, that is absolutely
essential.
It's amazing. Yeah.
What was our upload speed at the Nullarbor?
Oh, we were the weird dystopia time that we both looked at each other and being like, this is crazy. Is we're on the Nullarbor cliffs, right?
Bundy.
We're Bundy
Cliffs.
cliffs. We're parked up and we're literally looking at Antarctica basically, and it's 200 meters down. And we're just sitting there on our laptops, surfing away in the most remote place of Australia with a 200 megabyte
upload
download speed or whatever it was. And we were just
insane.
this is weird. So blessing for someone who works online, and also be a curse, I guess. If you, for example, traveling around for 1 year and it's like your time to switch off because you've been maybe working for a long time and this is your holiday.
Then probably don't get Starlink.
Probably don't get Starlink. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Our first year was a big break. We didn't work much at all. And we have no regrets on that. That was a great decision.
Yeah, nice.
But nowadays, I'd say we really enjoy our work because it's travel oriented and we are passionate about it. We love photography. We love sharing our adventures. So we probably work Monday to Thursday, sometimes Monday to Wednesday if we're having a great time. And usually we plan in some adventures or travels for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then we started introducing no screen Sundays, which was really nice as well, where we got back to basics, bit of crafts, bit of getting our laundry done, just being around camp or going on little walking adventures and things like that.
Yeah.
So that was really nice too.
Yeah.
We should definitely get that going again.
And we love no screen Sundays.
Yeah, I'm forgetting about that. That's a good one. Yeah.
I might introduce that in our household too, because well, I know how you work and what you do, and I know what I do, and it's really easy to sit down 7 days a week.
Because it's so fun. It's fun until it's not. And then you're like, oh, I've been looking at screens for way too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, when your eyes are not able to focus anywhere else.
It's amazing the things you get done on no screen Sundays. I was on projects, cleaning the windows. Yeah, you just don't know what to do with yourself.
True. That's true. What's your insider secret that you swear by but rarely share with the public?
Ooh.
Inside a seat.
And is this to do with van life or work?
Yeah.
Van life.
It can, or both.
Look, I don't know. I wouldn't say we share everything. So I wouldn't say we don't share.
What
Yeah,
about talking to locals and then they always tell us the
Oh,
best advice
yeah.
and best spots?
100% always talk to your neighbor.
Talk to your locals in the town.
Yeah.
Like just get chatting to people. I reckon some of the best places we've gone has been triggered by people we were chatting to.
Yeah.
They also tell you things that are like not that popular yet and probably still not popular to this day. There's a lot of secrets around Australia that people will tell you if you get chatting to them. But no one would talk about it online. Even though we share travel things online, there's certain things that we're like, we're never going to share about that because that is a sacred spot to a lot of people.
It happened in Blue Mountains. We stopped at this little cake store or something. And then I asked the young guy there, I was like, oh, what's your favorite waterfall? And he's, no one knows about this. It's not on the maps. But if you take this trail and go around, then you can walk underneath this beautiful waterfall, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, we would have never gone it. Never
at
gone.
The coffee shop.
Yeah. He's like, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
I'll go there. I was like, oh, cool. Yeah.
So many things like that have happened.
Yeah.
Maybe that's our little secret.
Yeah, that's cool. We had a similar thing happen in a visitor information centre of all places. All the locals knew that this was a fantastic Asian restaurant and they did have leaflets in there, but I had never asked about where's your favourite eatery in town. And this young guy, he was, this one and this one, but this one is the best. And the food was, I reckon, better than I've had outside of Asia. Like it would have been some of the best food that I've had, especially satay. Oh, so good. Yeah.
See, they know food. Cool. Yeah. That's spot on. Would have been delicious.
Yes, it was.
You just daydream about those places for the rest of your life. It's like, remember that amazing food we had in that weird, tiny little town somewhere?
You always try to beat it as well. You're always trying to find the next little hidden spot. You're
we've had some good food, tell you what.
Yes. Yes. Well, that little place was in Mildura and and doing what we do, tend not to book things like yourselves. Just today, I tried to get into a Greek restaurant that overlooks the ocean here. And of course, they haven't got anything available until next Thursday. So that's over a week's time.
Yeah.
So we miss out because we weren't organised.
Well, this is the downside of being a last minute person like we are.
Yeah.
You win a lot. But you lose out sometimes.
Yeah.
You do. We do.
That's life.
Yeah.
That's all the questions that I have, but is there anything that you would like to share? Any sort of tips, advice that you can think of?
Tips. Yeah. Look,
I have so much advice for van lifers.
For the younger generation who maybe just want to do a lap and are worried about money, what I would say is to save up enough for 3 months. There is so much, not younger generation, anyone who wants to work on their lap to prolong it, just save up enough for 3 months, which might be maybe 10 grand, and then go on it. But on the road, there is so much work. You don't have to work from your laptops and stuff like that. You could work in caravan parks, farms. If you're a tradie, there is so much work in these smaller towns.
Oh yeah.
Literally you have your pick. So don't worry about that because you can always just stop, maybe work for 2 months, get the money back up to 10 grand again, and then continue on for, depending on how good you travel, 3 to 6 months. You know what I mean? So I would say don't worry about that barrier. It always works out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also, you tweaked something. What was it?
When I was talking about the money on the lead up.
That's
new starters.
No, I've gone fully blank.
Oh, yeah. Another thing for new starters as well is that you'll be surprised at how much money you can make off your furniture in your house. If you rent or you don't have your own house, you get quite a bit of money selling all your sofa and
selling
TV and everything like that.
Selling your little cars and stuff before you leave.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing. you don't need to bring as much stuff as you think you do.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
So
When-
true.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. We had so much random stuff. And also, you realize you don't need much stuff in general to live with, like on a day-to-day basis. It's just all, there's certain things you're going to use all the time, and then there's just a total waste of space. And we're still figuring that out. Certain
Agree.
things. Yeah.
Yep.
You got to do 3 monthly culls, don't you? Because all of a sudden you get rid of stuff and then it comes back
Yeah.
somehow.
It does. You
Right.
create the space and it gets filled.
You same?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. We just dumped a whole load of stuff when we were back in Harvey Bay last year. At the end of last year, we had to go back, and I'm like, great. Stripped
Right.
everything out of the van and then went through it bit by bit. I always say to people, take enough clothes for maybe 1 to 2 weeks, and that's all.
Yeah.
And then you'll probably only wear the same 3 or 4 T-shirts, 3 or 4 pair of shorts, or 2 or 3 pair of shorts, a pair of thongs, maybe some boots for the cooler weather.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's amazing how little you need on the
You
road.
kind of just need a bunch of different swimwear. Like you need
Yes. Yeah.
usually for swimming.
Yep.
In
And
Australia.
yes, for sure.
That's a
Yeah,
great
it's
thing. There's
just-
no dress code when you travel in Aussie. So you just get away with wearing thongs and shorts the whole time. So
Yeah, and just live your best life. Just enjoy yourself. I think in your relationship, it's like you're living multiple lifetimes together, being in that small space. You learn to communicate with each other. You really improve. I think around the 3-month part, we were a little bit, oh, this is getting hard. Like we're niggling at each other or whatever that we had never done before. What it does is it actually teaches you to communicate and express yourself better and learn to really accept each other in that space and be kind to each other. So just have the best time, enjoy yourself, go on adventures, live your best life. You live in the literal dream when you're traveling around Australia in a van, I think. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yep. Because thousands of people are watching and wishing that they were in your spot doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So don't sweat the small stuff, just have a great time.
Yeah. Great advice. Thanks very much for joining me today. I appreciate your time. And I'm sure the listeners would have got a lot out of that.
I hope so.
thanks so much. It was great to be on, Annette, and thanks for inviting us on.
Thanks
Oh.
for your interesting questions. And
My pleasure.
yeah, we really
My
enjoyed it.
pleasure.
Always here if everyone has questions as well.
Thanks for tuning in to Big Lap Chats. We hope today's episode helped you take another step towards planning your lap of Australia. And if you're already on the road, we hope you picked up some great tips on where to stay and what to see and do along the way. If you found it helpful, we'd love your feedback. Head over to allaroundoz.com.au/podcast, where you can also download the show notes and find more resources to help with your journey. We'll be back next week with more tips and stories about caravanning, camping, and planning your lap of Australia. Until then, happy travels.